Hey,
Yay!
there's
All
Sarah.
right.
Oh, good. I got a couple.
Every single
Sarah,
call
hey,
was
Sarah,
all right.
Rachel,
I think we got
Anita.
you muted too, right?
I'm excited. I see Laura. I see some of my peeps. Hey, peeps.
Yes, we do. We do. Awesome. Fantastic. Well, welcome everybody to week 9 call of the Amazing Race Challenge. I know we've got some people from both In the Pink and Pink Diamond Destiny as well joining us for goal setting today. So first and foremost, we want to welcome back Dawn Andrews. We've missed her terribly. We're so excited to have you back. Missed you. But we've been trudging along and continuing forward with our topic on belief, which has been really great. And I think it's worked great to have different people coming on and talking in different ways about what belief means to them. And it's been everything from belief in network marketing to belief in the products, belief in our business, and belief in yourself. And, you know, this upcoming week is really going to be all about building belief in yourself, which kind of tags onto the setting goals, okay? So, you know, along with all the self-growth and things that we've been doing along the ways, we really want you all to really peel back to the true basics of setting goals. And what we were kind of discovering as we were talking to people about this goal setting is there were some missing little pieces. You know, I think we talk a lot in general about the compensation plan, which we all know to be bar none the most amazing direct sale compensation plan out there. But everybody knows that, but they don't really understand the incremental ways that you get to each different stage. And so I think that's really important, which is why I had everybody watch the compensation plan today. I know some of you have already watched it, but I also gave everybody the task of reading through the in-depth version of the entire compensation plan. And I think Dawn's going to be doing some challenges this week. They're going to make you kind of dig deep into that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So Dawn, is there anything you want to talk about real quick about the comp plan that you maybe want to touch upon before we kind of go into the goal setting?
No, I'll let you kind of go into it and then I'm going to make some notes as you're talking. So I'll just kind of finish out in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, so obviously belief in yourself, and we need to have our goal setting in place. And I think, you know, I tend to use like the SAE acronym for doing setting goals, doing action, and then evaluating. And I think it's really great to set goals, but, you know, we talked about it even in the thing. I put SMART goals, right? So we want to have SMART goals and make sure that they're measurable, but they've got a timeline, and you want them to be appropriate. And this is a really great time where I'm recommending you reach out to myself, Dawn, or your immediate upline to set up goal setting, because you want it to make it so it's realistic, right? You don't want to say, okay, hi, I just joined this week and I'm a silver and I want to be emerald by the end of August. I mean, that's not realistic. But you want to make sure it's realistic and that you kind of think about what the stepping stones you'll need along the way, which is why we wanted you to really learn what it takes to get to each step. Because everybody wants to be that jewel status. That's the big one, right? We get to go to Kona, we're in the emerald pool, we're a jewel. It's really super exciting. But you need to know how to get there. And going from ambassador to emerald is a really big step. So you want to chunk it. And so I want you guys to think about your goals. What's the next step for you? Sometimes it's not just gold to senior gold. It might be how to get halfway to senior gold. But you want to make sure that you've got specifics in place for that. So we want to make sure when we're setting our goals, we're making them measurable, we're making them realistic, and that we've got a timeline on those. And then first and foremost on that, definitely you guys action. I did a call on Tuesday for another team, and my big thing on that is that you can't walk away from any of these calls. These are great calls, but if you don't put them into action after you get off these calls, it means nothing, right? You could read a really great book, you know, you can read a great book on budgeting or finances, and you're like, wow, this is a great idea. But if you put down the book and don't put anything into action, it's not going to be worth your time. It's not, you wasted your time even watching or reading the book. So when you're done with this, while you guys are writing your notes, I want you to think about what action item you're going to take the minute you get done with this call. I don't care even if it's small. Like even if it's just, I need to call Dawn and schedule time to meet with Dawn, that's action. Do it. I mean, don't just say write it down, but definitely schedule that. Shoot her a quick message and say, Dawn, I need time, right? You can do that before you go to bed tonight, but do something. Always make sure that no matter what you do, each and every day, you're doing at least one thing towards your goal, right? So if you think about it on a daily basis and you grow 1% towards your goal each day. It's not going to be 365% of improvement over a year, because that 1% is going to compound upon itself each day. But if each day you're looking, what can I do today to get towards gold? What can I do today to get towards ruby? What can I do today to get towards emerald? Whatever that goal is for you, you have to do something. The worst thing you can do is sit by the pool of Bethesda, everybody knows my story, and be that crippled man and say, woe is me. Everyone gets in the pool ahead of me. Everyone has more friends than I do. Everybody knows more people. Everybody has more Facebook connections. Direct sales is the true equalizer, you guys. Everyone can do this. If Christy White can make it to Emerald in 11 months with 17 cents in her bank account and living in a town of 450 people, all of us here could do it. The difference is she took action. She took massive action. Massive action plan. It's a map. It's what you want to put in place, okay? And then the last thing you need to do, you've set your goals, you've put action towards them, you need to evaluate along the way on whether or not you're moving towards that goal. Because you don't want to be doing the same thing over and over again, like you're like, oh, I'm doing the same 5-3-1, my messages aren't getting anything, I'm not getting anywhere. Change it up. Reach out to your upline, reach out to a sideline, watch a new video. You know, you hear oftentimes we talk about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It really, truly is. And I'm going to tell you guys a little story because it's one that's always sat with me about people who do the same thing over and over again. And I was listening to someone tell me a story about a husband and wife who were newlyweds. And the wife was making ham for, like, you know, family dinner or whatever. And she's making the ham and she cut the ends off of the ham and she put it in the pan and she put it in the oven. So when she took it out, her husband's like, this is the best ham ever. Like, but why did you cut the ends off? And she's like, I don't know. My mother made the best ham in the world and she always cut the ends off her ham, so I do it. So they thought that was kind of strange, and they went to, you know, the mom and the mother-in-law and said, you know, my wife is cutting off the ends of the ham and she makes a great ham, and she said you make the best ham and the reason that she does it is because you do it. Why do you do it? She goes, I don't know, my mom did it, so I always cut the ends of the ham off. So then they go to grandma and they're like, grandma, you know, my wife starts cutting the ends off the ham, my mother-in-law's cutting off the ends of the ham, and they make great ham, but they're saying they all do it because you do it. Why do you do it? She's like, my pan was too small. So I mean, really, everybody started doing the same thing for no other reason, but just because everybody else was doing it. So just because you're hearing everybody do, I do my 5-3-1, their version of a 5-3-1 might not be the best version of a 5-3-1 for you. You might have to look at something different, something unique, something that resonates with you. Don't just do it because you need to do it. Do it because it makes sense to you, okay? So we're setting our goals, we're taking action towards them every day, and then we're evaluating. It's so important. I mean, action is huge, but evaluating is even bigger. Because if you keep going in this direction and you start to see, like, maybe it's working and it's kicking butt and taking names and you're feeling like, whew, I'm on my way to gold. I'm on my way to gold. And then it starts to go this way. You have to reevaluate and say, okay, maybe what worked up until I had a team of 15, that worked great. But now I've got a team of almost 20 and I'm backsliding. So maybe I need to reevaluate how I'm doing things. Maybe you're almost to senior gold and you're starting to see, wait, everything that worked getting to gold just isn't quite working. Each step is going to be a different process. We talk often about it being self-growth, and each level is all about learning something new about yourself as a leader. Believe you me, that's so true. I'm sure Dawn's thinking the exact same thing. Each time we've gotten to a new stage in our business, we have to learn something new. The bigger your team gets, the easier it is to fall into management mode and not continue to build your own business. And when you stop building your own business, it starts to backslide. So you've got to remember, each journey is going to be slightly different. So your journey from silver to gold is going to be like trucking, and you're going to be all excited. Then you get to gold, senior gold, and things start to go, ambassadors, your team's bigger, so things start happening, right? Ambassadors don't see the passion. You get frustrated. You feel like everything's going wrong all at the same time. And that's the time when you have to persevere. You have to put your blinders on. Don't look from side to side and just keep moving forward. Because the minute you start to think, uh-oh, I'm not moving as fast as Susie Q, or Michelle is moving faster than me, or I'm losing people, that's when you lose your own momentum and your own belief in yourself. So your belief in yourself comes back all the way around, right? Your belief in yourself has to be a 10 plus. It cannot be a 2. It cannot be a 3. It needs to be a 10. And it can't be a 10 if you don't continuously fill that cup with belief in the other 3 areas. Because if you have belief in this business, you have belief in these products, and you have belief in direct sales, you will build the belief in yourself. Because the passion in this business and this company will resonate in everything you do. Like, I can be on these calls and still feel cruddy today and be passionate and excited because I love this business. I love every single person. I was on with my new liaison, because we have new liaisons now for the West Coast, and really excited, a little nervous because I got a new one, and you develop relationships with people, and just to see how amazing this change was, right? Change is scary, but no change that's ever happened in this company isn't for a great reason, right? This company truly believes that if it's not good for the ambassador, it's good for the company, or if it's not good for the company, but it's good for the ambassador, we don't do it. So if you don't have a true 100% full belief on this company and these products, I need you to get one, okay? Fill yourself with testimonies, fill yourself with diamond documentaries, and as soon as you start talking, that passion is gonna come out of you. It's gonna be hard to contain it because you're gonna be excited. Juliana, who's on this call, just got back from a 3-week trip across the West Coast. She went all over talking to people. Her passion was huge. It was here. And, she didn't know that it was going to be an amazing trip. She just stepped out. She stepped out of the boat and went walking on the water. And let me tell you, she put some great seeds in place, and it's gonna come back to harvest for her. And it's because she has passion. She has passion in this business. She lived in a small town. She was like 20 miles south of the Canadian border for a while. So, she would have to go outside just so she could call me on the phone because she couldn't get cell service out of her house. So, you guys, anyone can do this, but you have to have that belief. So you have to build that belief incrementally. So it's got to be belief in those products. If you're not taking them and not a product of the product, you're going to have a really hard time being passionate about the products. But there are people who built this business not on the triplex combo, but solely on ease. So whatever it is that you're passionate about, dive in. If it's ease and the ease products because they're helping you with pain relief, fantastic. Don't start selling triplex and going, obviously if somebody needs it, that's a different story. But if ease is where your passion is, lead with that. That's okay. And if Plexus Slim and Edge is where your passion is, lead with passion. That's all that's going to be to get you to that next step. So we got to do our setting goals, we got to have action, and we got to evaluate. And as I said, that evaluation part is huge, because a pilot leaving from LAX to Hawaii is off course 95% of the time. And they've got gauges in place. Your gauges are us, your uplines, your power partners. Those are your gauges. They're the ones who are going to get you back on track, right? So you're having a rough day, things aren't going right, call your power partner, call your upline, call somebody that you trust that's going to tell you point blank, come on, you were doing so great. Don't let one day be a bad day. And then you're going to be there for them. But you need those people. So you need your strong, tight, they group that's going to keep you focused. So those are your gauges that a pilot would have, okay? And you're going to get back on course. And that's what you need to make sure you have. Surround yourself with those people who are going to remind you of how amazing you are. Because we often forget how amazing we are. There's one tiny bad thing and we suddenly think the world is falling, right? It's okay. We all have bad days. Sometimes we have bad weeks. Not so often, but usually we think it's a bad week, and it's usually just a bad day. Everything can change if you've got the right people surrounding you to support you. So your gauges need to be the right people in your upline. And if your sponsor is not the right person in your upline to get you pumped up, excited, and feeling good about yourself, go further up. Find a sideline. Whatever you need to do, you need to reach out. It's not going to be someone reaching out to you, right? This is action. This is your business. No one's going to own it but you. So you need to make sure that you're taking the action, right? Dawn's not going to pick up the phone every day and call every single one of you and be like, you guys feeling good about yourself? You good? We're just not. And it's not because we don't care. It's just, that's your responsibility. If you're having a rough day, we may not know about it, but please reach out. we're here. I'm like the best person, I think, at talking people off the ledge. Sometimes I need people to talk me off the ledge, but I can definitely talk some people off the ledge. It's one of the things I'm really, really good at. So if you aren't friends with me, you should be. Reach out, because I will talk you off the ledge. Sometimes I need Dawn to talk me off the ledge before I go, ah! So, Dawn, I'm going to pass off to you before I continue to babble, because you know how I can get.
I love it. No, I'm taking notes. This is awesome stuff. So just a few things I wanted to share, and I'll talk sort of kind of dovetail off of what Tricia just shared with you guys. I actually, a while back, and you might have seen this, heard this, but I'm going to do a little recap. Eric Worre did a really great video on goal setting, and he called it a radical approach to goal setting. And I remember watching it around New Year's, and it just really impacted me in such a way. So I just thought I could share some of the points with you. You know, we hear the word goal setting, and we immediately start thinking, oh, I've got to write down, okay, where do I want to be in 1 month? What rank do I want to be in 2 months? Where do I want to be in a year? Which is fine, right? So we're thinking in terms of rank. We're thinking in terms of how much money, maybe where my income needs to be. We're thinking in terms of when I'm going to win that trip or when I'm going to get the car. And so a lot of times we think of goal setting in the sense of, what am I going to do and where do I want to be? So Eric Worre says, you know what, let's put that aside and turn this thing upside down and think about goal setting with the filter of how can I grow and how can I contribute to others? And by using those two things as a filter, it really can kind of change the whole way that you approach goal setting. And in the meantime, by focusing on personal growth and that growth and also contribution to others, inevitably, things like your income will increase, you'll rank up, you'll get to the trips, you'll get all of the things ultimately that you want and desire, but not because you want and desire them and you're focused on the me part of it, but actually focus on the others. So just think of it through the filter of growth and contribution. And I made some notes here to kind of, delve further into what that means. Okay, so one thing I'm going to challenge everybody with. Whether you've been doing this business for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, or you've been in the business for a week, which I don't think anybody that I've seen that I know that has been on the business for a week. But I want you to really, really, really evaluate your story, okay? Because your story is what's going to sort of catapult you to where you want to be, all right? So we all have a story. But I want you to really think about your story being the thing that's going to inspire others. Not because you just kind of put together this testimony, but think about it in terms of developing your story in such a way with a filter that really growing my story is going to grow me, but it's also going to contribute to others and inspire others with what I have to say and what I have to share. Okay, so that's my challenge right now to you, because I want you to, I want you to take that story, I want you to think about that story with those two filters, and I want you to write that story down, and I want that story to be so in you and spark such a passion and a fire in your belly that you can't help but go so big and so bold that you just want to shout, you need to shout your story for the rooftops, not for yourself, but because it will really contribute to others. It can inspire others to improve themselves. When they look at you, and I'm going to say Trish because I'm looking at her, when they think that Trish has shared her story, she's shared her story of better health, she's shared her story of weight loss, but it's gone beyond that. They've seen her grow, and they've seen her, be able to just improve her life in lots of ways, and to be able to, I don't know, help me out. Like the way that Tricia isn't the same person that she was 6 months, 3 years ago, but she's publicizing and she's showing people, and she's doing it every single day. And she's doing it through Facebook. She's doing it through face-to-face. She's doing it through the pictures that she takes and the smile on her face when she goes to Disneyland. Okay. Those things, they're inspiring others. What she has to say matters, and she's contributing. And so we all have that. I'm looking at Sarah DeLudos right now. So Sarah, I know you have an amazing story, and you've got to own that story, love that story, and be ready to really share it with others. Don't keep this stuff to yourself. And I want you to think in terms of not like, oh, I'll just kind of share my story on Facebook with a few people and maybe somebody else will think, yeah, I can maybe do that. I want you to think in terms of like, I've got such an amazing story that I'm going to shake the whole company of Plexus. Like, I want every Plexus person from, you know, Diamond, Double Diamond, Celeste, down the line to be so inspired by my story. Okay, I want your story to be that amazing, and everybody has one. Okay, is everybody kind of with me on this? Because it's that thing that's in you that makes you, you sharing that story is and contributing and changing other people's lives. That's what's going to motivate you to stick to your goals. Because if our goal is, oh, I want to be gold, okay, that's a great goal. That's awesome. But you might lose steam. I mean, when you have those bad days, when you have the person that you thought was going to be awesome and you signed her up and she was all in, and then 3 weeks later, she's not returning your calls. Okay, that happens. I don't care where you are, and whether you're just getting started with your first person or, you know, you've achieved the rank of Emerald. I can't tell you the number of people that I'm like, man, what happened? Okay, now that can be very discouraging, all right? But don't let that shake you, okay? That could make you feel like, man, I was so close to gold. I almost made it, and I didn't because someone said. Just put that aside, okay? Just put that aside. Don't make that your focus, but instead make your focus continuing to dig deeper, growing your story, growing yourself, so you really can inspire others. I want you to think in terms of, I'm going to inspire thousands of people with what I have to say, okay? Tens of thousands of people. Go big. Don't think small here. I'm telling you. And when you think big like that and you think about contribution, you will be successful because you'll keep going and you'll push through and you'll persevere, like she was just talking about. Anyway, so really, and I want you to think about, you know, we're called ambassadors, and I want everybody to Google the word ambassador and look up what that means. What is an ambassador? An ambassador is one who embodies whatever it is that they're talking about in such a way that they share the good news with others. That's what an ambassador is, a definition. I should have looked it up before I actually tried to quit it, but it's something like that, I'm sure. But that's who we are. Okay, that's why Plexus named us that, right? We're not consultants, we're not sales reps. We are ambassadors with really, really great news and great help. And, you know, we can offer great help. We offer the opportunity for people to dream, to dig deeper, to improve their life. I mean, I'm sure the 16 people that are on this call will all say, I'm not the same person that I was the day I started, that I signed up with Plexus. You are more amazing than you were then, okay? And I see everybody nodding. You have to own that in such a way and share that in such a way, because there's a sea of people out there that need that, and they will someday be standing at an opportunity event and they will look at you and say, because of you, Sarah DeLudas, I'm a better person, thank you. Because of you, Juliana, I'm a better person, thank you. So you've got to own that in such a way that you've got to just go for it in this business. So make that, your goals are something, but I want you to make your goals, set your goals through the filter of growing yourself and contributing to others. Okay, that's what I had. I had pages of notes, but I almost stopped there. Did you have anything to add, Trish?
I don't think so. I think, you know, I know there's a lot of people who have like individual stuff, and I don't want us to kind of go down a path where we start trying to like goal set individually, but I want you guys to take what Dawn and I have shared with you, and we're going to have challenges this week that are really going to help you guys grow. And those who are in the pink and in Pink Diamond Destiny and aren't in the Amazing Race Challenge, I'm sure Dawn's going to do the same thing, because I'm going to be sharing it with them, with you guys as well in Pink Diamond Destiny, because this is a chance for you guys to really take the next 7 days and really develop your goals, develop your story, and really grow that passion and belief in yourself. So take this, use it, take action daily, and do what we're asking. Don't half-ass it. Don't just kind of go, oh, I'm going through the motions. I want you guys to really take the time. Give yourself these 7 days, right? Think about it like a 7-day trial pack, right? And your person's taking their 7 days and they're thinking, and you're like, did you really drink all your water? You know, those kind of things. Think about it to yourself. Did I drink my water? Did I really take the time to do everything I needed to do that was required of me for today's challenge? And if even in your mind you're starting to rationalize that you didn't, or you did, you probably didn't. So just do it. You owe it to yourself. Give yourself 7 days. I mean, where you could be from today, and in 7 days, you'll be halfway through August, the final month of Leaders Retreat contest. you could really jumpstart it to make the last 4 months of the year be phenomenal, because you will have focus, you will have vision, and whatever you focus on, you will manifest in your life. So if your focus is where you want to be at the end of the year, and then you create those little incremental goals, and you work and do these 7 days of really focused on what needs to happen. What do I need to accomplish, not only in my personal business, but in my Plexus business, my personal life? What do I need to do to make sure that no matter what, I hit my goal? Who is in my life? Who's surrounding me, right? Who can I keep close to me to keep me accountable? Maybe it's Dawn or I, maybe it's your power partner, maybe it's a sideline that's not even on this call today. Whatever it is, hold yourself accountable, keep yourself focused, and you will get there. There were plenty of times, I'm sure, that Dawn was in the same boat as me, where we were like, is being a jewel going to happen? You go through that phase of senior ruby to emerald, and it seems like such a big journey. And there's a lot that happens during that self-growth time. That's right when Dawn and I became power partners, was us both at senior ruby and going, okay, how can we do this? What do we need to do? And there were definitely times where the two of us were like, oh my God, right? We were all, Dawn made it through during the back office debacle. So she gets like extra kudo points for doing it during the craziness. But
my team, yeah, right?
Yeah, well, hey, here's the thing. She talked about your story. Your story can be a good one when you're talking about your testimony, but your story can also be the reason that holds you back if it's what you're telling yourself of why you can't have it, right? So if your story is, I don't know enough people, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I just don't feel comfortable doing that, that's your story, and you've got to scratch that record up, play a different story, get yourself focused on saying those affirmations. Talk back to week 1 phone call that we had, right? Talking about those daily affirmations. Lori Harrison's call about having a grateful heart. If you start every day that way, it'll all go into play. The rest of it will not matter. It will roll right off your back, and you will be able to persevere. So Dawn is going to be responsible for getting up. We're going to put our challenges together. She's going to get those posted for us. So we'll get those on the team page. Yay! And so we're going to have some fun this week, right? Everyone's going to be excited to get their goals. And then those of you who need to reach either out to me or somebody in your upline to get your individual goal setting done, start thinking through what you want to do, and we'll help you guys tweak it. But we want to make sure that you really, really take these 7 days and really make it. I'm just peeking really quick into the chat to make sure.
I was doing too. A couple things I just want to add to is I'm going to post the Eric Gorey video on radical goals, the radical approach, and I really want you guys, that's going to be one of your challenges, is to watch that and take notes. Now, it was said he did it back in January, so he talks about New Year's resolutions, but it's completely applicable. And one of the things he says is, throughout, now he's a network marketing, if you don't know who he is, network marketing professional guru. He says, when you talk to people that are the most successful in network marketing, and you look at the comment, they're all very different. We all come from different backgrounds, everybody, but there's common traits. Okay, and don't forget these. Don't forget these traits. He says, first of all, successful network marketers are always setting a good example. They're always the example of how it should be done, okay? They're consistent no matter what. There's consistency. It's not take a break, for a month and maybe I'll do it this month. It's consistent, and they're laser focused. I think that's the big one, is being laser focused. He says the thief of success is the distracted person. Don't forget that. The thief of success is the distracted person. And distractions, we call it the weapons of mass distraction, right? They're all around us. Especially, I've heard it over and over again this time of year. It's summer, people are on vacation. That's fine. Of course you go on vacation, and I'm like not a good example, right? Because I just took a month off, but I had a really good reason. First time in 2.5 years that I've probably taken any time off. But I think, don't let the weapons of mass distraction be the thief that steals your success. Remain laser focused. Be the one that sets the example, because if you have one person if you have one person, you're a leader to that one person. You're an example to that one person, whether you have 1 or 1,000, and they're looking to you. You set the pace. You set the tone. You are the leader. Okay. Well, you're even the leader if you have a customer, because even your customers are watching. They're watching to see how you follow up, how you present yourself on Facebook, if you're sending them good information. And so just don't forget that. Don't let the distraction be the thief that steals your success, and laser focus. Okay.
Agreed. I love it. So I think you guys all have some basic building blocks of where your mindset needs to be as we put forward these challenges for the next week. So I want you guys to get off this call, and I want you guys to pick your one action item. You don't need to share it with anybody, but I want you to get off this call and take that first step. Whether it means you're going to write down some quick ideas for your goals, whether it means you're going to reach out to your upline and schedule that goal setting meeting, whether it means you're just going to finally put together what your schedule is going to look like for tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Just do something, anything, and that's good, because you'll feel good. You'll feel good that you got one thing off your list, right? And if you can, tackle a big one if you can. Just because it feels really good to just rip the Band-Aid off and sometimes get that away. But sometimes it's just as easy as making a phone call and just saying, okay, oh, great, I called Dawn, I was able to get that scheduled, or I shot her a Facebook message, I feel really good. Okay, one thing off the list, okay? So we're gonna end for tonight, but I want you guys to really make sure you do that, okay? Everybody promise me, nod your heads. Yes, Trish, yes, Dawn. Thank you guys. All right, I'm gonna get this recording up for you guys probably in the next 5 or 10 minutes as soon as it uploads to YouTube, and we will be in touch with you guys soon with our challenges, all right? So you guys have an amazing night.
Bye, guys.